I got a lot of love to give, but no one to give it to for free. So I decided, if I'm going to die alone, at the very least, I'm going to watch something else do the same. I've decided to get a pet. But what kind of pet? Well, I'm not going to get a dog because I don't need another reason to feel guilty about not going on walks. I'm afraid to get a cat because, tragically, feline addiction runs in my family. You know, seriously, like, every time I visit a relative, fucking cats everywhere. And every time one dies, 3 more grow in its place. It got to a point where I would take cats and put them in a box with poisoned food so that they would temporarily exist in a theoretical state of being both living and dead. So that they would know how I feel. And before anyone starts twisting my nuts over that last joke, no, I never murdered any cats, okay? It's called science. I'm too old to get a gerbil, hamster, any kind of rodent. Those are young boys' pets. If I were to get one at my age, people would just assume I was shoving it up my ass. I just don't need that publicity in my life right now. It's better to just avoid the temptation. Fish aren't pets, barely decorations. I'm actually not allowed to get any type of bird or reptile because I don't now, nor have I ever worn a ponytail. So this really just leaves me with one logical option. I decided to get a scorpion. And I know there's at least one guy in this room who's thinking, Matthew, scorpions are reptiles. Actually, they're arachnids, you fucking asshole. I've always been sort of fascinated with scorpions. I kind of feel like they're the only actual living mythological creature. It's kind of like, behold, the scorpion. It has the 8 legs of a spider, the claws of a lobster, and the tail of a scorpion. It'll be like no other tail. It'll be sharp at the end and be flexible, so it can like stab you. And it'll be venomous too, yeah. Not so much that it'd kill a guy, but you know, so it'll just really fucking hurt. So when you step on it barefoot, you're like, Jesus Christ! And that's how I'll spread word of my son. God talks like a pirate, people. 1 Corinthians 16:4. Look it up. I decided to get an emperor scorpion, and those are the big black ones that are awesome looking, but aren't as dangerous as other scorpions. And I found out it's actually illegal to have scorpions sent through the mail. Thanks again, 9/11. So I had to drive 130 miles to go pick her up. But I'm so glad I did because it was love at first sight. I'm telling you, she was gorgeous. I decided to name her the Black Queen after an ex-girlfriend. I took her home, I bought her everything she needed. I got the finest tank, the best quality sand, rocks, heating lamps, tiny Dwayne Johnson posters. And crickets. When you have a scorpion, you gotta keep live crickets to feed it. So every morning, I wake up, I take 3, and I put them in the cage with her, and I let them deal with that, okay? It's not up to me who decides to eat who. It's all up to them. So far, it turns out the Black Queen is quite the negotiator. She's got that quick wit. And a lot of people ask me, do you ever feel bad about having to do that? I do, but I like to believe that one day a chosen lone warrior cricket will rise to the challenge and defeat the dreaded Black Queen, liberating their brothers and sisters, as foretold by the cricket prophet, Jiminy. But day after day, I come home to find disappointment. I'm like the Mr. Glass of crickets, trying so hard, doing whatever it takes to find my Bruce Willis cricket. I decided to show off the Black Queen to my friend John, who I love, but I forgot was a fucking idiot. He asked me, "Is it poisonous?" And I say, "No, not at all." But that's not what he heard, because based off what he did next, he must have heard me say, "No, not at all. Please feel free to reach in and grab my scorpion." He takes his bare hand, reaches it over into the tank, and the second he got close enough, she stings him right on the inside of his asshole. They're a lot more agile than we give them credit for. And trust me, I know, it's super weird that John was at my house not wearing pants. All right, so John's on the floor and he's writhing in a new kind of pain. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is normal. It's a very sensitive area. But this goes on for like 20 minutes. And finally I'm like, "John, we got to take you to the hospital. I think you're allergic to scorpions." And he starts freaking out. Like, whoa, you said they weren't poisonous. Emperor scorpions are not poisonous in the least. However, they're venomous as shit. That was an exciting day. But as time grew on, the Black Queen, I noticed, started to become more and more depressed. And at first I was like, cool, we got that in common. But then I started to think about it, and it must get lonely in that tank, all by herself, no one but crickets to keep her company. And even they try to avoid her, racists. So I found out that there was a hole within her that no amount of mini Dwayne Johnsons could fill. So I decided to buy a man scorpion to fill that hole. I was so nervous the day I got him. I sat him down and said, "Hey man, you better show her some respect, okay? That's my little girl." Now, they didn't hit it off right away, and I could tell by the way she killed him. It's just not how you kill someone you love. And so I called up my scorpion guy. "What the hell, man? I didn't ask for some nerdy-ass loser scorpion. You get me the most handsome, bad motherfucker scorpion you got." Now, I got him the next week. And let me tell you guys, he was smooth. I decided to name him Uncle Luke. Again, after a former sexual partner. You never forget your first. It's sad. So, they hit it off right away, and it wasn't long before the Black Queen gave birth to 27 scorpion babies, all of which she carried on her back for months because that's how Emperor Scorpion mamas roll. Now, I don't have a problem with baby scorpions, except for the fact that eventually they grow up into regular-sized adult Emperor scorpions. That tank became crowded very fast. Daddy's not made out of crickets. And let me tell you something. If you think it's hard to find a good home for a cute little kitty, try standing in front of a Ralph's with a box full of scorpions. Turns out the only people interested in that are the police. disturbing the peace my ass. So I decided that the best thing to do would be to put them in their natural environment. And even though it kills me every time, each year I drive out to Texas and I put them in people's shoes. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful night.